Hello everyone, so today I'm doing a video, and this video is a rant about nurses, the nurses in this country. And for those of you who are wondering which country it is, I'm talking about the UK, the nurses in the UK. Oh, I'm so disappointed at the level of care some of the nurses here have to offer, and it's so disappointing that you get so many complaints about these nurses, and the funny thing is no one does anything about them. I think the NHS needs to fire half of the nurses they employ, because I don't see why they pay them, because they're so mean. They just pay them to turn up and torture patients. It's not like torture like they're physically harming you, but it's psychological torture. That's torture anyway, And these nurses, and in particular, not all of them, but most West African nurses, Nigerian nurses, Ghanaian nurses, you know yourself, you West Africa, particularly Nigerian nurses, they are mean. And not all of them, but most of them, maybe say 90% of them, they are mean. They like to do these jobs, but they do not have that heart. You have to have the heart to do certain jobs. They do not have the heart for these jobs, but they go ahead and do these jobs just to get paid, because wherever you're coming from, you're coming from Africa, and they've come here to work, and they're looking for the fastest job that they can give them some money, and the nursing jobs pay good money, and there's job security. These are the jobs they run for, but they don't like these jobs. They just do it for the money. So because you're doing the job you don't like, you end up frustrating the people you have to look after, we the patients. I am so done with these nurses that I had to do a rant about it. Last night, I was talking to my good friend, and she was telling me her experience in labor, and she telling me this Nigerian nurse, how mean and rude she was to her. And I was just like, I've gone through this a number of times. Just like, these things happen and you don't say anything about it. It just happens and you feel bad about it, but you don't say anything. But this keeps going on, and then the worst thing is, if it happens to like other British people, other white British people, they can't complain because they're scared of being labeled racist. Because if you say something, oh you're racist because you're complaining against a person of another race, it always has to come up. So what are they supposed to do? Just keep quiet and deal with it? They don't want to. And to start with, this is their country to start with. We just come here, so this is their country and this is their culture. They're used to this level of care and everything. But I have to say, there are other nurses, like other English nurses, that are mean. But this is more common. The nurses I've been exposed to, they've been the West African nurses that have been really mean to me. And some of the comments I get from most people, it's the same. The same nationalities that keep popping up, and I'm like, why? Even when you hear the carers and all that, some of the ones that really get more complained about are still the same nurses. So I know people are gonna really hate me for this, but someone has to say something. So since I'm black and I'm African, what are they gonna say? I'm racist too? No, I'm just fed up. So basically, yes, I'm having a rant about nurses. These nurses, all you nurses, even the countries I've not mentioned, but if you're a nurse, the NHS nurse, and you know your behavior is questionable, your service delivery is bad, poor, like really poor. Some patients have not complained because they think about complaining, and the British people are polite. They just take it. This is what really I find frustrating. Like, the British people are polite. So shit happens to them and they just take it on, but it's not acceptable. Me, I won't take it on. Me, I'm complaining about it. When you're in Africa, you get treated like this, like an underdog, like a rag dog, whatever. But we deal with it because where we come from, that's the system. It's not the system here. Here we expect another level of care. So when you're in the UK, you're in labor, whatever, you're a patient, you expect a certain level of care, and it's care. You expect the nurse to be compassionate. You expect them to be caring. You expect them to be patient. And some of these nurses are not all those things. They're impatient, they are not compassionate at all, they are not caring. And then there's so much medical negligence cases going on, people suing this and this. It's just because people are doing the wrong job. They don't like their jobs, They really, really don't like jobs. And for people who are well educated, these people are educated and trained for years to do these jobs, and then they do these jobs to, like that. Then you ask yourself, if they're trained and they're educated and trained for these long periods of time, and they do all their trainings in all the hospitals, and they still do this, what happens if we're doing a different kind of job? Imagine. Rude. They are rude too. This is even frustrating. Just talking about this is doing my head. And I know some of them are going to come and start bashing me about this, but this is the truth. Some of you are really, really rude. Like, rude. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And someone has to say something. Because some people go home frustrated. And this is not going to make things better if no one says anything about it, Okay, yeah, you read some articles in the paper. This happened, this happened, this happened. But it keeps happening to me every time I go to hospital. Every time I go to hospital, I'm thinking, oh, what nurse am I getting? Every time, it's funny. These nurses are even more rude to us black people. You run into like a nurse, a black nurse, particularly those Nigerian nurses. Oh, you run into them and she looks at you like, what are you here for? You can't even feel the attitude, blowing off her. You can feel it, like, you're even scared. You feel intimidated. You feel belittled, Then when you have to ask questions, they talk over you, and they're loud. When they're talking, they go, talking over you. Some of them even receive phone calls when you're there. You're there in the room and she takes her phone. Hey, excuse me, no, that's not acceptable. No. Professionally, it's not ethical. You don't take phone calls and you speak in your foreign language when a patient is there. This has happened to me. This has happened to me. This is my personal experience. Maybe she did it to me because I'm an African. She thought I wouldn't complain. I didn't like it. I didn't accept the fact someone can take their phone calls while I'm there, and then they speak like for 2-3 minutes, and they're going, oh, okay, I didn't complain, yeah. I didn't complain then, but I didn't like it. It's just like when I sit in the taxi and the taxi driver is talking on the phone. I always tell them, no, please. And then some of them ask you, can I take this phone call? I always say, no, don't take it. Just drive me where I'm going and you can talk on the phone. But these nurses are even more rude to us, we fellow black people. You feel like, are they nicer to the other white people, or they're more rude to us? I don't know. Maybe probably both. It depends which day, which side of the bed she got out of. Oh, God, this is not good. But this is my rant about nurses. Even those from countries I've not mentioned, even the English nurses living here, born here, whatever, all you mean rude nurses, please, when you go to hospital, now that I have children, I frequent hospitals a lot, and I'm always thinking, oh no, which one I'm running into? I'm always thinking, oh, not another one. I'm just there like biting my tongue, and I find it so hard not to bite my tongue, especially when I'm dealing with a sick child and a mean nurse. Unbelievable. But most people are scared to speak. For the white people, they're scared to be called racist. Then some people just don't complain. Shit happens and they walk away and go home. But I can't complain. This is unacceptable and it has to end. It has to end. Seriously, the NHS has to do something. They have to save us. We are scared of going to hospitals, They have to save us. And these people just get paid to do what? To be mean to us. They are rude, they're impatient, they can't compassion, they're not caring. The list is endless. Probably I should do part 2 for this rant. Anyway, this is it. I'll be doing my next rant about something else. I know I'm gonna get bashed for this. Who cares? I've said my mind. Freedom of speech is why we love this country. Freedom of speech. I didn't hurt anybody, did I? No. Bye.